To certainly win 4.
Be the first guy since Vasquez, the only 4-time state champion. Darryl Vasquez.
Of course. Nearly saw a 4-time state champion 3 years ago.
Villarreal.
So here's the good news about our 8th match at 126 pounds. For the neutrals, we will not have a champion from Buchanan or Clovis. David Campbell from Mission Oak, the senior, ranked number 2 in the state coming in. He was a runner-up a year ago. He was 4th in 2014 and a qualifier in 2013. Takes on Donovin Guerrero from De La Salle, the North Coast section champion.
Donovin Guerrero is our North Coast section champion. He was 4th last year. He is ranked number 8 in the state. So this is kind of a nice thing for Donovin to get here, to get to the finals against the 2nd-ranked wrestler, David Campbell, who wrestled a fantastic match against Palomino today. Just incredible match. So 126, I believe, is the toughest weight class in this tournament. So it's pretty impressive to me, the whole thing. I mean, there were some great matches in here. And Campbell just went right in and took him down. Campbell looked great against Palomino. Palomino and Campbell. Palomino's wrestled 2 of the toughest matches in the tournament, and he's not in the finals. So he wrestled a match against the kid from Dixon in the quarterfinal. That was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Won in overtime.
Devin Turner
from Dixon.
Headed to Oregon State.
Great athlete. Turner stopped wrestling for a moment, and Palomino beat him. So, again, like we say, you got to wrestle the whole time. You can't stop. Campbell's tough. Donovin Guerrero's tough, but I think that Campbell's on a mission. He's got the bar arm, and he's keeping Donovan's flat, not giving him any room to move. Really grinding him.
Donovin Guerrero at De La Salle, of course, coached by Mark Halverson, 4-time league champion, 3-time section champion. He was 4th place last year.
And Campbell is a finalist from last year.
That is correct. He was actually the NHCSA national champion at 115 for juniors. These 2 wrestlers have something in common. They both love to eat.
When you cut as much weight as these guys, yeah, you like to eat.
You need to. 2-0 as we close out this opening period.
And Campbell in dominant fashion, just riding.
You know, you mentioned, and we like to discuss this every year, but you mentioned Donovin is our North Coast section champion. Just talk about your coaching experience over the years in that section and just being a part of California State Wrestling as a coach.
I started coaching in California in 1975. I moved here in 1973 and have been coaching for the most part for 25 years in the North Bay of California. But I'm involved in wrestling in many different ways. I'm the executive director of Beat the Street San Francisco. I'm on the board of managers for the section. I am our seating rep for our league. I love all parts of this and helping kids. Wrestling is the greatest experience you can have as an athlete in order to become able to set goals, accomplish goals, work hard, be a good teammate, all the great things that wrestling brings to you. And if you watch all of the kids that we see in this final, everybody's got a great point average because it focuses you and helps you understand the values of what's good in life.
Now, why is the sport such a conduit for outstanding character?
The amount of work that you have to do in order to accomplish this, you have to respect what the other people do because you know how hard it is for you to do this thing. So,
and you are on a bit of an island, of course. Now you have the support of your team, but as we look at, 20,000 people over the weekend that'll be here, and probably a good 7,000 or 8,000 tonight watching just these two wrestlers. There is an individual intensity that you must have to be able to thrive.
The fact that you walk out there all by yourself after all the preparation, whether your teammates, your coaches, everything else, you're out there by yourself. You have to do this on your own. And you better have, you know, for lack of a better word, the cojones to go out and do it. So you got to give them respect. And now the state of California has girls wrestling, too, on a separate basis. And the girls are going out there and showing what they have.
Tremendous. And that event just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
The girls' state tournament gets bigger every year. And they no longer have to wrestle the boys, which is, I think, an ideal situation now.
Final 20 seconds. At this stage, 4-1 in favor of Campbell. Nothing decided, but Campbell,
great positions,
certainly
great
on the front foot.
Great athleticism. You know, we were impressed today, weren't we?
Unquestionably. 156-27 career record for Campbell. 34-3 on the season. And we move to the third and final period here at 126 pounds. A pair of seniors. It's the final time they'll wrestle here in the state of California. 2 minutes to decide who will be the state champion.
And his father was a wrestler.
Does that surprise you?
It's the theme of the night, isn't it?
It's the theme of the night. It's the theme of the sport in some ways. That these exceptional athletes follow in the footsteps of fathers and uncles. And
I mean, I cannot stress enough the amount of work that it takes to be a champion in this sport. But if you're not a champion and you still do the work, you get the benefit of that as well.
30 seconds.
Sure, there's a broad set of benefits outside of being a champion, right?
And we have that discussion. We were having a discussion today with Christian Holiday, our director, and you know, wrestling is not a vocation; it's a passion. He's got that chin whizzer, stepping over. If he gets the leg in, he's trying to get that leg in. Donovan's fighting it, but it's not. It's got the takedown. He's just so solid. It's pretty impressive.
6-2 now for Campbell, and I think it's more than a passion, really. It's a way of life, and maybe that's just what I see from you and Christian and so many of the people here. But it's more than a passion.
Well, I don't know how it can be more, but I'll take your word for it.
Just follow my lead on that one. You know,
Okay.
just kind of nod your head.
Yes, sir.
30 seconds.
Final 30 seconds here. As Campbell, he came in as the third place finisher from the central section, although second ranked in the state. Campbell cuts him 6-3. And the final 15 seconds as he goes out of play.
He's not going to, give up anything. He'll run. Doesn't have to do anything. It's 10 seconds. He has anything to prove. He's dominated this match. Nice match. Nice wrestling. Wasn't exciting as Olguin and Aguilar, but it was still solid.
A solid match from David Campbell. And Campbell claims the 2016 CIF State Championship at 126 pounds. The senior from Mission Oaks. What a show of sportsmanship, by the way, from Donovin Guerrero de La Salle. He goes over and shakes the hands of Z. Enriquez and Travis Carpenter, the two coaches for Mission Oaks. That's one of the classiest things we've seen at this tournament.
Sportsmanship is important.
Turn the page, Coach. By the way, it's been a sweep for the central section thus far.
Ridiculous.
Here you go.
He, when Donovan lifted Campbell off the mat, this technique is returned him, and Campbell knew that when he hit the mat, he was going to throw the switch in and come up on top. It was something that he knew he was going to do. He just fought him to the single. There's the chin whizzer. Now this is what we were talking about before. He tried to get that leg in. He's trying to get that leg in. He's putting a lot of pressure on Donovan. Donovan's trapped, basically. And his hips, again, feet, and feel. He's working that hip in there, putting a lot of pressure on Donovan's back, and he got the score. All right.
It took you more than an hour and 20 minutes to bring hips, feet, and feel into this broadcast. I'm really surprised. Let's review. By the way, we're